God damn it, I think I got... Well, God damn it, I think I got... Well, that's the problem. Okay. So I'm doing this dual streaming thing. Last time I was trying to do it, and it was giving me a lot of lag or something on my on my stream. The way I had been doing it, so I don't know if it's showing up. You might not can see it. There might be like a little thing that says restream or some shit on here. That's just because I'm having to use a different website, like a third-party website to do it. And I'm not paying for a subscription because nobody watches my shit anyway, so what's the fucking point? Um, I've been busy. I had another doctor's appointment. I got to go get more physical therapy for my back. So I haven't made any videos or haven't streamed or anything the last week or whatever, right? Can't stream the One Piece on YouTube, right? So I have to save this for certain things, right? Maybe if I play a game again, I can dual stream that, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to watch One Piece episodes with me and you're on YouTube, you need to go. There should be a link in the description to follow me over there on Twitch. And I'm trying to get to the 50 followers so I can be, whatchamacallit, not a, what is it? Not a partner, but like a affiliate where you can get like subs and shit like that. So that's weird. OBS it doesn't show it shows the stuff on the stream, but it doesn't show it on in the OBS. Maybe. I think it's because I had it minimized. Okay, makes sense now. So that is what it is, right? Doesn't look like anybody's watching anywhere. Unfortunately, it's a sad effect of my life. You know, could be worse. Ooh, woo, woo. But yeah. So, um, also, I guess there's ways to do it on you having a name because you gotta have Streamlabs is like two things. So I got to do.
NANI?!
So you can only do certain things on Twitch, like stupid little sound things and whatever. So, yeah, what's it saying? Looking green. Alright, so let's get into. Let's see. I got so much shit going on. Get into what we came here for, or can't we? Like I came here for. Let's keep that. All right. See, so what we'll do is we're going to. One thing about doing it later, I can use the official site now. Apparently, I don't know if it's any better or worse or whatever, but we'll see how it goes when I show some of the other stuff. All right. So let's switch on over. Boom. All right. It's a nice little Oda color page, whatever. I don't know. I'm sure some people make more into some of these than they should, but let's pretend like it doesn't matter, like it to the story, because I don't believe it does. They're walking around in some sort of jungle or whatever, right? All right. Oh, damn it, I gotta click over. I got so many windows open. Sorry. So you got It's getting closer, but it seems like Momo is moving it back or whatever, right? And then you get this, like, I don't know what the point of this kind of, like, what's this? Like, I think we're all pretty much certain that it's Zanisha or whatever, or however how you say it, the giant elephant creature is talking to him because we know him and Luffy can kind of hear him, and he was actually able to command Zanisha, sort of. So maybe we'll get a little more explanation there. So to me, it's not a big mystery, right? I guess it's a mystery to him. So inside the story, it makes sense. But what I would like would be if Oda actually does decide to like reveal that, like what it is. Is it like the voice of all things? Is it something totally different? I don't know. Let me put this on. I forgot to change the sound settings. Sorry. But yeah, so who knows whether or not what the deal with that is. That would be something I'd like to figure out by the end of this. But like as we all know, Oda does keep on doing a lot of these mysteries, or he's not really telling us anything like that. Um, let's see what we get next. Oh god damn! I clicked off of the damn thing. Uh, let's see. Kid and Law, they're still fighting back. Big Mom is kind of like this is kind of cool. I guess maybe this is why this is what I'm trying to think about. Like Big Mom can use her devil fruit. Like they actually injure Big Mom. Big impressive shit because in the whole Cake Island there was this whole thing about like it was impossible to injure Big Mom before. Like they went through all that trouble. They broke that picture of what was her name? The old lady that raised her or whatever, and that was supposed to be able to make Big Mom vulnerable, right? Didn't seem like nothing came of that. It seems like we've learned a lot of devil fruit and a lot of like really hurting people is kind of like a shockwave move. Like it seems like Oda's on that. When we did like the you go back to like the dials in Skypiea and stuff like that. Like that shock that was able to hurt like even Enel, Ian Luffy, and when Usopp fought him. Then we learn kind of about like how Jinbei fights even before you do the hockey using like the fisherman karate that could hurt, right? And then hockey is kind of like that too, like an inner, and then that's kind of what Law's Devil Fruit did. It kind of went from the inside out. So it seems like those are kind of things that can affect stronger people more. Uh, so Law, if he has some strong hockey and and that power, right? That's gonna be pretty even more OP if you think about it, how he uses it. Um, so we'll have to see what comes from that. But I mean, but yeah, seeing Big Mom get hurt here seems kind of strange, honestly. I mean, but it's also cool. Maybe that's what she's pulling it in. And then some people's like, oh, she had to give up some of her life. But maybe that's what makes her so powerful. Also, she has that devil fruit. She's pulled that life from everybody else. Maybe it's kind of like Moria when he's taking all these like the shadows. I was gonna say souls, but she's the one taking souls. So he gets a little bit stronger. He don't necessarily put them in himself. But if he did, it can. So that's kind of what she's doing, you know? Yeah, see a shockwave from the inside. It cracks some ribs also. Sorry, I got a text message. Not a big importance. Uh, but yeah. So I guess they're kind of explaining it, you know, what's going on. And it's pretty impressive that they hurt Big Mom, but like Luffy never did. The only thing that like she cut her, I think maybe it's like something to do with like a mental composure. Maybe she has to like keep that up the whole time or something. Maybe that's why when the picture got damaged that time it did. But then, like I said, it still didn't end up having a good effect on. Hey, what's up, pervert? It didn't have a good effect on her in Whole Cake Island, in my opinion. They still do this. I think it's just funnier. I think it comes off better in the anime with like the interactions with Luffy and Kid and Law, and they're trying to do strategy and what they really have to do, but then they all get mad like, oh, quit fucking telling me what to do and all that shit. That's kind of like people in general, right? But at the end of the day, they need to kind of come together and work on a little bit, right? You know, so it makes sense. And you think Big Mom's fucked even more. And then she busts out this, it's kind of like a laser sword kind of deal. She puts all her shit together. So it's pretty badass. And then we also get some more of Kid's powers. He, like, I guess it was kind of also what he did before. He basically magnetized, like, two things, like, put the South and the North Pole. I know, unless there's any kind of, like, juggalos in here, like, I think we all know how magnets work. So you have two opposite charges, and then they attract, right? So that's kind of what they did, and it's pretty strong because Big Mom couldn't even like pull away from it. But we see how strong Big Mom is, and she fucking like pretty much flips the goddamn building, pulls the building out of the ground to avoid his bull attack. You know, Caramel, Mother Caramel, that was the one. That was the one. Now she's pissed. Look at down here at her little bitty eyes, you know. So she's kind of pissed. So that's Big Mom for you. Oh, it does show YouTube on here. Cool. So I don't even need to keep that. True. Like it did take a lot of people to take Whitebeard out for sure. And here, I mean, Big Mom. I mean, there's been a lot, but I guess it hasn't been as much. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, they all were kind of fighting, and at one point when they were all kind of up there, it was two Yonkos with like Luffy, Zoro, Kid, Killer. You know what I'm saying? So these are like old people with sunglasses. I used to have to. I had these for when I wore glasses because they're like the ones like I don't know if they do it over there, but it's like a big thing over here. You have these big sunglasses you put on over like if you had to wear glasses. Yeah, I agree. When Luffy beat, I'm gonna say it if, but like when Luffy beats Kaido, it will be more impressive. I agree. But Kaido did take a lot of damage. I mean, not. I guess he didn't take damage, but like that's weird because I guess it's like saying like all them like the shitty low tier Marines that like attacked Whitebeard at some point. Like it didn't do nothing. So should you even count it? You know, like it's kind of like the Scabbards when they were fighting Kaido and stuff like that. They didn't really do nothing. Luffy's hurt him, and Zoro hurt him. You know. I don't think any of the Scabbards hurt him really. Maybe Kinemon did he a little bit, or they made it look like he did it, but then it didn't really hurt him. Yamato didn't really hurt him either, even though she's probably kind of supposed to be pretty strong. So, but I still agree. It is a more of a 1v1 fight than Big Mom is. But at the end of the day, I think Oda wants to keep Kid and Law strong because they're popular characters. And but he's got to keep Luffy stronger. Like that's like a given. But it's pretty impressive, like how like whatever the reason, how strong and how like durable Big Mom is. It's ridiculous. Ah shit. Supposedly this they didn't explain it in this version, but like she like calls this thing. It's supposed to be like a throwback to some other manga, 3,000 Leagues of Misery or something. Well, they already calling Luffy the fifth Yonko, which I guess you would have to change the name because isn't that where Yon comes from? Like, was it each ni san yan or yo? Well, I don't know what five is in Japanese, but wouldn't it be have to be something else? Because it's supposed to be the four emperors, but that's Yonko, and then so I guess they call him the. I guess if you didn't translate it, it would be like something else. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if he beats him, he would be like, if he's already kind of in the thing. But wait, oh yeah, that big flame kind of fruit. Shanks me and Luke is Yonko. Yeah, that's fitting. Yeah, you think he's gonna? You think it's gonna be like, here's your hat back? But he's like, Luffy's got to keep the fucking hat. There's no way. Um, but for simple fact, like that's what he's identified with 100% right now. Uh, if he gives it to somebody else down the road or something, that would make more sense. I can't see him giving it back to Shanks at this point. Because Shanks didn't give it back to Roger, right? Um, I think that Luffy, and then also Otis set up that thing where there was the giant straw hat, so maybe like the straw hat is more important to overall things. We don't know because of how Oda fucking does shit, right? Um, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that as well. Okay. Let's see. Then we get, but Law's pretty powerful too. Like he does this new sword technique, and like the sword, like it goes through Big Mom. It goes through like the entire building. You get cuts of everybody seeing. You get everybody seeing it. And they're like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Um, Big Mom's even kind. I don't know if she's impressed or she's pissed off, right? Because look at that. It goes all the way down Onigashima, all the way through, makes a big ass hole in the ground. It was something to do with he say he reminded him of something Roger said or whatever. Like that's the vague thing. Like maybe he believed in him, and it kind of goes back to like what Whitebeard was saying, like what he said to Blackbeard. He's like, "You're not the one Roger's waiting for." Like, I mean, there might be more to it than that, but like I guess he believed in him in some way. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely learned. Maybe is he going to do the awakening? Do they think he's going to do it now? Because Oda has brought it up once again with giving it to Law and Kid, and at the end of the day, we don't want Law and Kid to get ahead of Luffy. So, could there be more to it? Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. Like, and then I think you get like yeah, you see this big ass hole. Look at Big Mom just coughing up blood, but she's still not done, man. She's still not done. This fight will be pretty fucking sweet in the anime. Like if they do it right and like put some effort into it, it's gonna look pretty sweet overall. Like the Big Mom fight. Hopefully they don't stretch it out too much. But even if they added a little bit to it, it would be kind of cool because like this shit it needs more behind it. So like being animated to me makes it a little bit better than just drawn. Like some things just work out a little bit better when they're animated and not drawn. But that's just my opinion. And then like he basically makes like a electromagnetic gun, like a rail gun or some shit with his powers. So that's kind of crazy, and that's out of that. Uh, and they do make you think. Like, do you think that this fight is over? That's kind of what they're setting it up for, that it is over. Like, he's like, era is over, you know? So I don't know if this is or not. Uh, don't give me orders, do what it is, you rats, you brats. Where does John Hole come from? What was it last chapter or was it this chapter? It was pretty funny, at least in the other translation. He said something like, "I got my final, I got something else." And he said, "What are you gonna make next? Like an elephant or some shit?" Because he kept making all these like creatures or whatever. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really good chapter. Like, I kind of hope the fight's over because, as I've said many times, it's been my issue with Wano is like Oda's like stretching it out way, way, way too far. But also, part of me is like, I want Luffy to be Big Mom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I agree with you. I feel the same way. I really like that kind of thing. Also, whenever we do get to like the big, like the kind of like the ramifications of what happened, like some big announcement, or we see some like, or Oda reveals a little thing like what happened with Sabo. There's been hints that he get. I'm assuming he didn't get killed, but like, is he captured? Did he get away? What's going on with that? What's going on with the Gurusai? Shanks showing up. We don't know much. Maybe some of that's going to be. My friend she didn't on Twitch today with me, but she talking about that new movie and how like she thinks it's going to be a lot more explaining on Shanks that the One Piece Red. I still haven't looked into it. I need to and see how much. Maybe that'll be some of that filler into what's going on with Shanks. Maybe we'll learn it through that movie. So we'll have to wait and see what comes of that before we actually get to Shanks. But yeah, like we have to have some sort of Shanks interaction. We have to have some sort of Blackbeard interaction. Um, so maybe that's why he's gonna put Big Mom out of her misery in this. So just to kind of cut out one other, because we kind of did have the Luffy versus Big Mom arc, because he kind of got the push from surviving Whole Cake Island. So like that already upped him and put him in fifth Yonko tier, fifth Emperor tier. So maybe he doesn't need to outright beat her. And plus, he already got the poneglyphs rubbing, etching, whatever. So maybe it's a way just to not have to have like another arc, and we'll have like Shanks and Blackbeard kind of things, and then obviously like the One Piece and the war after or whatever. I agree. I think what Law did was a lot more impressive. Now, like at the end, like it's kind of cool. Like Oda's usually fairly good with creating like what they can do with their powers and devil fruits. So I didn't necessarily, and so he like made his kind of like, so instead of just being able to use magnetism, he can magnetize stuff. It's kind of like his. It makes sense. It works. A lot of times it's. When you get your what we've seen so far, especially in Paramecia, it's even the Logia ones like the Awakened just kind of made them like stronger and more durable and more like their thing. So like with the Paramecia Awakenings, we had like the strings could create string, Mochi could create Mochi. So him being able to do that kind of makes sense. And then with Laws, it kind of makes sense. Like he's got like a tighter control on his room or something. So, but I didn't expect him to create like a rail, like electromagnetic rail gun. So that's pretty badass. But I think Law did do a lot of the heavy lifting here. Yeah, I could see something on those lines because didn't he say something like "you're too young" or "you're not, you shouldn't be even included yet"? So, and then also, I mean, since Oda's been building up, I think it's gonna be a lot, and I don't know, like I don't know how Oda's not gonna make this a long as fuck arc when we have the Blackbeard versus Straw Hats thing because he set it up. It's kind of a lot like what they did with Baroque and Ennis Lobby, right? It's pretty much, well, he's done it too. He kind of did it in Dressrosa too. Um, a little bit here, but not so much, with like all of the everybody being able to kind of match up with a 1v1 fight, you know what I'm saying? So I think, and it's been hyped for a while, so we're gonna have to wait and see because we've only really, except for like what Blackbeard can kind of do, and we've seen Jesus Burgess, what he could do fight wise, and I guess we've seen a little bit of what Shiru could do, like in flashback. We don't really know exactly how good or how strong all these fighters are, like that we've seen. Like we obviously know, like all the ones that escaped level 6 are pretty strong because you had them fight like a battle royal. But like all the other, we seen Von Auger was able to have that really good shot of those pigeons and Jaya, uh, but Yeah, I don't know. I think Oda. I think the problem with Oda, because you know how he's so quick to bring everybody. He's always good about bringing people back. So I think that's one reason he don't want to kill some people. Because he's like, man, I might have an idea for them down the road, right? Like even people that like it didn't even matter. Like this should be killed, right? Um, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll finish this in a minute. Let's see. Where's that? Be right back. I don't know if Shiryu or Shirlu or how you say his fucking name. I don't know if the invisibility thing's gonna help him like in the long run. Like I get it, like if it was some normal person, right? Like, but like he's gonna be fighting like top tier people. Did he really? That's just a weird power up he gave him. I don't know. My only thought is maybe now that's gonna make it. Instead, it would be kind of dumb, but maybe that means Sanji's gonna fight him instead of Zoro. Going back to, he loves the whatchamacallits, the invisibility thing, and although I guess he broke it, he might be able to get another version or whatever of the raid suit. Guess we'll have to wait and see what comes of all that. I mean, I'm just saying some of them we don't know exactly what they can and can't do. I don't know. I think it was just kind of who's like some of them match up makes pretty much sense, right? Like obviously Luffy will fight Blackbeard, Zoro will fight Shiryu. Are they gonna have like Doctor versus Doctor? What about Usopp versus Von Augur? Makes sense since they're both snipers. Is Nami or Robin one of them gonna fight the girl? What's her name? Katarina Devon. Um, or is he gonna take both of them to fight her or something on those lines? I would think Sam Wan Wolf. I guess is he a fisherman or not? I don't know. Hey, Jimmy is gonna have to fight him. And then Jason Burgess. I always envision kind of Frankie fighting him. It makes sense. Who else? What I can't think of his name. Jean Pierre or Pierre, whatever his name. Lafitte. Like who's gonna fight him? Is Sanji gonna fight him? He just don't seem that strong. Like I think Sanji needs a stronger one. Maybe he'll fight Vasco Shot or Pizarro. You know. I mean, my only guess is if he had strong enough hockey, it could get through Blackbeard's Devil Fruit. But we've only seen actually we haven't seen Blackbeard like we've seen a little bit of him using both fruits, and that was before. So he's got to be better at using the other fruit. Also, wouldn't it be crazy if like we know Blackbeard can use both fruits, right? What if it wasn't just some like his body specifically? I know there's a lot of theories, right? And I don't know which ones are. I always lean towards something about his body that was kind of mentioned. That's why he has two devil fruits, or it's got something to do with the other devil fruit, so he can have more than one, right? But what if he just figured he found out some technique where anybody could have multiple devil fruits, right? So what if other people in Blackbeard's group have multiple devil fruits? That would be a big surprise thing that Oda could bust out, you know? I mean, it kind of seems cheap, but it would be like he started devil fruit was a real power up. He added hockey, and that's kind of changed the game because obviously you don't need hockey to do anything, right? I mean, like you don't need a devil fruit to have great hockey, right? But then he also had the awakening with hockey, and then where you're finding out what that's capable of, right? What if then the next evolution is being able to have more than one devil fruit? So I don't know. Because just because they said something wasn't possible, maybe that was just something that they all like they put out there to scare everybody from trying to eat too, and maybe it won't just kill you right then and there. Maybe it's like some propaganda. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of times. This is one power like Oda's used a lot of powers that other people have. I mean, it's kind of impossible not to, for how long comic books and stuff have been around. He doesn't really have like I guess there's no like Superman type character that's like that OP with everything. I'd say Laws is pretty original, but it also can be like kind of like other characters who have like teleporting powers and stuff like that. Kind of like when he beat Blue Note when he first had the when he first introduced Gear Second. He didn't introduce Gear Second to like barely get by. He introduced it to jump up. That was a pretty badass moment, right? So I think that would be something. I don't know if he's gonna do it in this fight. Maybe it'll have to be versus Blackbeard or something, or somebody else. You know. But what was I on? I was on. Oh, another big trope in a lot of superhero things is like somebody that either I guess it's kind of what Blackbeard can do. They can like take the power. They can nullify the powers, like the superpowers, or they can like absorb other people's superpowers. There's characters like that on Heroes, X Men, a lot of other ones where there's not been somebody that can like copy the powers. Like you know what I'm saying? Because that would be a pretty overpowered devil fruit, really. If you think about it, like say you could take everybody, like other people's abilities by like touching them or absorbing them, right? Maybe like not necessarily canceling theirs out, but you're able to copy their devil fruit. Um, some people have been able to copy multiple and like have multiple powers, and then some people have only been able to like copy one or two at a time, right? So that's a devil fruit we haven't seen. You know, that would be kind of interesting. You know, or maybe that's what Blackbeard had. Maybe that's more of what the other thing had. But if he had that, why wouldn't he have just took eight? I don't know. Seems like he had to take the actual devil fruit, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, I agree. That was one of the badass moments because Blue Note was pretty tough too. Like, I mean, obviously he didn't end up being that. Yeah, I mean, I get it's overplayed, but it is kind of like the ultimate shit, right? That you can copy or take powers and all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying it's original, but like the way Oda does stuff with powers, I think has a fairly good mind of being creative. You got to think about all the people that's had like kind of like stretchy rubber powers, at least in the Western sense, like the Mr. Fantastic, a lot of like Plastic Man, a lot of other ones. A lot of them been kind of shit, but like Luffy, the way he's done it is totally different than how a lot of them done it. Um, been pretty creative, right? And then obviously kids like Magneto, right? So some of the stuff's similar, but Magneto didn't make like stuff out of his, like his armor per se, and fight like that, right? Another thing we really haven't got. I know there was like Madame Shirley, who's like supposed to be like psychic or fortune teller, but we haven't got like anybody who's got like. There's not like a telekinetic. I guess Laws is a little bit like that, but like there's no like real like telekinetic like Jean Grey or like a psychic like Doctor Xavier or something like that. It's possible. Like there's also hints of they're talking about that devil fruit was called something else. Is it gonna be the gum gum fruit? And then also they were trying to transport it, and Shanks took it. Like, did Shanks know something that he learned? That's why he went for that one, or was it just one of those like he's a pirate and he's gonna try to get devil fruits when he can? You know what I'm saying? Oda can bust out some shit like that. Maybe that's why it has some sort of thing where it magnifies. Like, think about how Luffy used the Gear Second to like pump his blood. What if he can somehow, with awakening or whatever, he can do something similar with his hockey, like to double it up or something, or be able to bounce it off and make it faster. So I guess that could be something maybe that would play into it. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Um, I mean, it could be just there could be things like even like the strongest hockey. Maybe that's why Roger wasn't able to do what he was able to do. Yeah, I mean it's possible. I mean, let's see it. Like Oda's good about like a lot of these twists. A lot of them you can. I mean, some of them you can predict, but you can't hate on anybody for being able to predict, like, because if you're telling like a kind of a semi as logical a story as you can, blah blah blah, and you do kind of hint and foreshadow and have a plan, right? And all the people that read it, somebody you're gonna be able to figure out some of the shit that's gonna happen, right? And like and like some authors, you could do like some M Night Shyamalan shit where just out of nowhere, oh, this person's that, that makes no sense, just to be like, gotcha, you know. Yeah, no, I think that's one of the best things, like he's done with his powers in One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you read Hunter x Hunter, right? I don't know how Gon was able to use his Nin or whatever to like grow older. Like it just seemed like that came out of nowhere. Like I guess he went beyond his limits or whatever. But like some of the other, it kind of makes sense. And I'm not saying everything Oda does makes sense and is always 100%. I know there's some sort of theory where Luffy's thing will be like he can like bend time or something, or like control like the whole planet, so like earthquakes don't affect it. So that'll be what he'll use against Blackbeard. So like instead it'll absorb like the shocks or whatever. That could also benefit too from what I was saying earlier. If Luffy could like, because hockey still affects him because it's kind of like a shockwave attack. It's kind of like the what Sengoku used, kind of what a lot of the dials use. Seems to be kind of what Trafalgar Law is using on Big Mom. Like kind of attacking from the inside is able to kind of nullify some of the outside stuff. So what if Luffy literally was like able to amplify like the rubber like on the inside too, so that way none of the kind of like shockwaves affected him on the inside or something. I don't know. I just throwing out crazy shit. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just saying like it didn't seem like it was. I guess Gon didn't really have like Kurapika had like the chain thing, and like what's his Killua had like the lightning, right? So I guess Gon. I can't remember. It's been a while. I I just want to say Gon didn't necessarily have anything. So maybe that's what I'm thinking. Like it kind of didn't like fit with like a progression. I would definitely agree with that. Like Tagashi, like over. That's why I couldn't even read some of the. I remember looking at some of his manga like before he quit. I mean, I guess he's still technically on hiatus, but I don't expect to ever see it again. How fragile must these damn Japanese men be? Like, what you can't like. I don't get like how they are they like. Does he have? I don't know what's wrong with. Maybe he's got something I don't know. But like, it seems like how sick are they where they can't do stuff? Like maybe their culture is a little bit better. Like here, they expect me to go back to work and do all this shit and every damn thing, right? Like, but like I could probably sit and draw some manga if I could draw manga and come up with a story. Like, so I don't know. But yeah, it was like, but like it was like boxes, a box. It was like the antithesis of Bleach. Remember when Bleach would have like one word on each page, and it would just be like an onomatopoeia or something. And One Piece, there's but like he would have like blocks and blocks. It'd be like reading a book to read some of the Hunter x Hunter stuff. And I'm not necessarily wrong. I don't mind that. I like a story, right? Because that's why I like One Piece more than I like Bleach and Naruto, and I think it's better overall. But like at some point, it's you might as well write novel and not do like a because manga is a different art form. It's art like art drawn pictures and words together. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? It's like the difference between like a song and a music video. It's like you got to incorporate. And that's what people had to learn back in the '80s and stuff. it's kind of like me, like I can do like the One Piece like review on like TikTok, like 30 second, like blah, 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 blah. But I'm more suited for like these long. Even back in the day, I used to make my reviews. Like I don't know if it hurt me or not. Uh, my reviews would be 20, 30 minutes long, and it's like you know. Yeah, agreed. But like he tries sometimes, like to detriment of it being a manga. That was kind of what got me later on, you know. And plus, I wasn't super interested. It turned into like some sort of like family, like it was like an Agatha Christie novel. Like who's gonna kill off and become the king or whatever. I can't even remember exactly. And then he basically, what if tomorrow? What if Kaido killed Luffy, right? And then the next day, Law's the main character of One Piece. Wouldn't that be fucking weird? Like that's kind of what happened with Hunter x Hunter. He fucking Gon's technically not dead, but Gon got through to the wayside, and then Kurapika became like the main character basically. It wasn't that much pressure. I don't know. I guess like you know what it really was? You know what it kind of was? I like One Piece, right? And I'm not saying I dislike some of the other manga or anime or something like that. Like, I never was into it. I didn't like Dragon Ball Z back in the day. None of that shit, right? Um, I felt not necessarily pressure, like, because I mean that's dumb to say I felt, but like I felt that I needed to talk about more than One Piece. I felt that, especially back then, One Piece was growing, but One Piece was not the number one thing here. I needed to talk about Naruto. I needed to talk about Bleach. So like, oh, and then like the ones I did like, they didn't get that much. Like I like Reborn a lot, right? Uh, and so, like, I felt like I gotta do this. I can't just do just One Piece. I gotta do all this other shit, right? Hey, Kashi, how you doing? I'm assuming you read the chapter. I don't want to spoil anything for you if you hadn't. I kind of did the review, and I'm just kind of talking to my friend on YouTube about it right now. I did kind of do the review stuff from the array the official one because I was thinking because I know you say you don't read the other one, so I kind of went from that. So we're just kind of talking now about what happened and everything like that, and like some ideas and theories and everything. Yeah, I never got into Berserk though. I read Berserk a little bit. I know kind of what's going on, but I never got into it honestly. It's kind of like there's another one. There's one I really want to get into that I always heard was really. I'll tell you what's good. Monster. I watched the anime of that. It was pretty good. I never read the manga though, but it's kind of cool. It's because it's like the serial killer dude. It's kind of like before like a lot of the serial killer shit. I like the movie Seven and stuff like that, and I did like the old Dexter, but I haven't watched the new one. So, but 21st, what is it? 20th Century Boys or something. There was always something I wanted to say about that one. It's kind of a mystery. But yeah, I think I read that part up to that. I can't remember. I always heard the anime Berserk was terrible though, so I've never watched it. But yeah, that was my main thing. It wasn't like I was like pressure or super, but it was a little harder on me because I had to do work a full time job and it was physically demanding. So it was kind of hard to come in and do that, and I didn't have that many days off always, you know. Back then the chapters used to come out like on Wednesday before we had like official releases or some shit. I remember. And then also you had to be like you wanted to be like the first one to do it because like some people would make chapter reviews from the spoilers, and I never liked doing that. But what did you think about the chapter overall, Kashi? Did you like it? Do you think Big Mom's defeated? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I got just disheartened too. I've seen like a lot of people start getting like really big, and I was like, "What the?" And it's not necessarily jealousy. It was like, well, I guess I'm not doing something right, right? So then you kind of start second guessing yourself. Remember, I used to do like the little skits and stuff, and I put on the thing and pretend to be like the manga loving nerd guy. Like, there's a guy that does that shit on TikTok now for NES games. So I mean, I guess I could have made something of it. I don't know. I guess I got disheartened. Yeah, that's what we were talking about too. We think Law was definitely the MVP, definitely the MVP of this. Um, I thought Kid's finishing move was kind of cool. Like it was kind of out of nowhere. It was different. It wasn't an animal. And turned made that gun or whatever. That was kind of cool. But I think Law was the one that, like I said, is the MVP. I think Law did the most damage to Big Mom. Very impressed with what he was doing. Um, And also, I think like we were talking, like I think maybe it had something because it seemed like Big Mom was commenting on like this kind of like shockwave effect or like doing something from inside, and that was really what was damaging her more. It's kind of like I think Law might have softened her up a lot. Maybe Kid did finish her, and I kind of go back and forth. Big Mom's definitely down versus Big Mom may come back. But then I kind of almost convinced myself now. I think that she might be down because I think Luffy maybe he doesn't actually need to be the one to defeat her because he already had his kind of story with Big Mom with the whole Cake Island thing. And if Oda actually ever wants to finish One Piece, he can't do like another Luffy fights Big Mom arc. So he has to move on. Although I thought the chapter was good, I thought it was a good chapter, and I do think, and I do see it as a progression. We've got to get like we got to figure out is Yamato or Yamato. I don't even know how you say that correctly, but are they going to finish off that stop that creation by whatever the I can't think of his damn name off the top of my head. Uh, and beat the like fire Oni and stop everything from blowing up, right? And then maybe we can get like a finish to Kaido versus Luffy, right? And then we also need. I think what's going to happen. I don't think. Um, this is my prediction, if you will. And I don't generally make predictions, but this is what I see happening. Luffy beats Kaido. I don't know when Luffy beats Kaido. When Kaido gets beat, like his clouds disappear, right? And so, because like Momo's kind of using them to pull Onigashima back, but then like it starts dropping. Momo probably freaks the fuck out. Maybe at that point he uses whatever that ability is, voice of all things. That's when he can contact Zanisha. Maybe Zanisha catches Onigashima, even like even puts it on its back or sets it down. I don't know, but I think that's what's going to happen. Or Momo could have a moment where he's like, "I'm going to do this," and he creates clouds and saves it. That's my two predictions on what could happen there. But yeah, I think it would be good if Big Mom is down. Because then most of the big fights are over, right? Like I said, besides Yamato, I fucking don't know how to say that. Yamato, and then I guess there's still the one with the two ninjas. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, he hears something. We don't get exactly what was said though, so maybe there is something going on. So maybe he'll be like, maybe he can be vague. Like, I need somebody to, because did he say like directly like destroy the ships when I can't remember, and beat them. All right, talk to you later. But yeah, I could definitely see him maybe out, because I still don't think he understands what's going on. And maybe just be like, I wish somebody would help me, or like, can some like I can't do this, I need help, or something like. So then maybe Zanisha can stop the island from falling, and then yeah, I think eventually Zanisha will wipe out those Zanisha must be called to him somehow, like maybe not directly, so maybe everything doesn't have to be a direct command. I don't know. It depends on how in tune they are with one another. That's something Oda might explain, you know. But that's definitely the out of the ships. I agree 100%. I think the one or two things, like I said, Zanisha might stop the island, or Momo will just kind of have one of those moments where he grows up and creates the clouds. You know, I don't expect the island to crash down and blow up Wano though. Honestly, but I guess it could. It could do like a Pell moment, blow up in the sky, and then everybody's still okay. But yeah, I thought it was a good chat. I think, like I said, that's my like. I don't think Wano's a bad arc. My biggest concern, not my biggest concern, but one of my issues is I feel like Oda's just stretched it out further than needed. You know, so hopefully this kind of leads to Wano winding down. And because I'm interested in a lot of other shit outside of Wano, maybe getting some shit explained, stuff like that. So I think that's why I'm more hyped for post Wano than I am for. Plus, also, while I like the fighting and shit, that's not my main draw to One Piece for sure. So everything like that, that's how I kind of see it. You know. Oh, but yeah, overall, I thought it was a good chapter. That'd be my best thing. Was it the best chapter ever? No. I think when Luffy beats Kaido, that's gonna be pretty impressive. So, and it's gonna be that's the one thing. Like, what's is Luffy gonna pull some shit out of nowhere? Because he's gonna have to do something to be as impressive as kind of what Law and Kid did here. Honestly, so I'm waiting. I'm interested in seeing that. While I just said I'm not as super, and it's not as super important to me as the fights. I like the overall story of One Piece, but the fights are cool too. So you know, but we'll have to wait and see what Oda does with that. But that'll probably be it. I don't know if you're still in here, Kashi, or anybody else is, but I'm about to go ahead and end the stream. I'm getting my back is acting up from sitting. Uh, I did. I went to the doctor yesterday for my back, so I've been prescribed, or yeah, I guess it's technically prescribed. I got to go do some physical therapy on my back, see if that helps. You know, so I got to get some physical therapy on my back. I'm gonna start that Thursday, and then I got to go back to him in a month and see if that helped or if we need to do something else. He said we might need to get some scans. So he said we could do some scans, but that wouldn't necessarily give it a shot of like saving anything or like necessarily give me any relief right away. So he said we ought to try the physical therapy. He said we could do both, but I said let's do the physical therapy because how America works is so fucked up. Uh, if he can't, because I'm doing all this as a workman's comp, I don't know what it was called over in Europe, but it's basically if you're on a job, they have to have insurance or something to. I guess it doesn't matter if you have like healthcare in general, but maybe there still are certain things like you get hurt on the job, they have a responsibility to take care of you. That's what we have in America, right? I'm glad we have that, but I think it could be done better. From my personal experience, and I'm sure there's even data out there, right? But it has to be he has to sign off, like in his medical opinion, that what is causing me issues or what they can do is 51% or more due to that the work related accident. So part of me worries that like my back's fucked from all them previous years, and when he looks at the scan, he can't determine he has, and I'm not asking him to lie or nothing, but he can't determine that like it's done because of that. Maybe part of it will work. Maybe it exacerbated it. That's my theory, is that like this wreck and all the damage I got has done damage to maybe made something I already kind of had, but it made it worse. But it's neither here nor there. So I thought I would at least give the physical therapy a try. It might be able to help. And maybe I'll learn some things I can do a little bit better too, and then go from there if anything else has to be done. Alright, but if you're still here, Kashi, I don't know if you're streaming. I don't know if I even have anybody. I was going to say if you were streaming, I was going to raid you, but I don't think. I think you're watching. I think that might be it. So if I raided you with my own people, with your own self, that'd be kind of funny. It's like that movie. What is that movie like? Inception. You raided yourself. But it doesn't look like you're streaming anyway. So other than that, everybody have a good day, and will keep you apprised of everything in the future. I don't know. I guess if I stop, I'm doing this dual streaming, so I'll stop this. Oh, and thanks for everything. Peace out.